As-salamu Aleikum. The month of Dhul Hijjah is around the corner. What's the big deal, you might be thinking? Let's chat about it. So, Dhul Hijjah is the final month in the Islamic calendar and it is the month in which Hajj happens. But that's not all. It's considered to be an extra blessed time. So, even if you're not amongst the people going for Hajj, there is a lot of reward for you too, inshallah. In fact, we have a hadith from the Prophet ﷺ where he says, no good deeds can be done at a time better than these first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. And by the way, if you caught the last video of Tafsir Surah Al-Fajr, we talked about a verse there where Allah swears by the 10 nights, and the majority of scholars consider those 10 nights to be the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, again adding to its significance. Okay, so you might be wondering why, what makes these days special? There's a few reasons that scholars have given. We have this verse that says, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Today I have perfected for you your religion, completed my favor upon you, and have chosen for you Islam as your religion. This verse, this announcement happened within these first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, which scholars say highlights its virtue. Another reason given is that this is the only time of the year where all good deeds are combined, specifically the 5 pillars of Islam. What does this mean? Testimony of the oneness of Allah and following the Prophet ﷺ, prayers, Hajj, which can only happen at this time of the year, charity, which is highly recommended during this time of the year and includes the Eid sacrifice, where a portion is given to those in need, and fasting. It is said that the Prophet ﷺ would fast the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah, and specifically the day of Arafah is highlighted as a really special day to fast. We will talk about that more in a little bit. So all of these things, all these 5 things do not come together at any other point in the year other than this period of time. Okay, so you might be wondering, what can I do during these 10 days? What should I do? Imam Hassan al-Basri was asked, what are the best things we can do in these 10 days? And he said, firstly, do not lose your obligations. Do not lose your obligations. Do not lose your obligations. The pillars of Islam. Do not lose your obligations. The second thing that he said is to increase your good deeds, because during these 10 days, the good deeds that are done are unlike good deeds at any other time, as we have mentioned. Okay, let's talk about fasting. We have hadith that tells us that the Prophet ﷺ would strive to fast during the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah. Now, if 9 days sounds a lot to you, and for whatever reason you are unable to fast these 9 days, but you feel you have the capacity to do one single day, then let's talk about the 9th day, the day of Arafah. Put your focus on fasting on this day. What does the day of Arafah mean? On this day, the pilgrims who are at Hajj are heading to Arafah, where they spend the day supplicating, calling out to Allah. And we have a hadith that tells us Hajj is Arafah, and we understand from this that this is the pinnacle of Hajj. This is the essence of Hajj. This is such an important core part of Hajj. We have a hadith that tells us that there is no day upon which Allah frees more of His servants from the hellfire than the day of Arafah. He draws near and then He boasts of them to the angels, saying, what do these servants want? So He comes and says, what do these servants want so that I can grant them what they are asking for? So imagine these millions of people are gathering and Allah is listening to every single one of these people, ready to respond. And why do we say focus your fasting efforts on this one day specifically if you can only do one day? Because we have a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ was asked about fasting on the day of Arafah, which is the 9th of Dhul Hijjah, and he replied, fasting on the day of Arafah is an expiation for the preceding year and the following year. So you can get 2 years of your slate cleaned. I'm sure we all want that. I'm sure we have regrets and things. We can clear that all up, inshallah, by just doing a simple thing, which is fasting on this day. And then, of course, there's all kinds of other good deeds we can do, from praying, from doing dhikr, from helping others, and so on. As a reminder, each one of us has a different capacity. This is your time to decide what you can increase. Someone who has young children that they are attending to or breastfeeding or so on is going to have a very different day in comparison to someone who is a student and maybe on summer break already. So don't compare yourself to anybody. Each one of us knows what our capacity is and where we can increase good, inshallah. Also, don't forget to renew your intentions of the things that you are already doing. So maybe you're at home and maybe you're used to helping your mom cooking in the kitchen, for example. Renew your intention there to seek reward from Allah, to do that as a good deed, happily, smiling, spending time with your mom, engaging in conversation with her, giving her attention, complimenting her, and so on. Maybe you have young kids, renew your intention there to look at them through a lens of gratitude, a blessing from Allah. Shower them with kindness and patience and gratitude, inshallah. Maybe even, depending on their age, do an activity with them so that they can learn about Hajj and Dhul Hijjah and so on. So each one of us is in a different situation, different stage in life. Inshallah, look at where you can increase good deeds in these blessed days. See how you can take your unique circumstances and make them extra special and do things for the sake of Allah. Hope you found benefit in this video. As-salamu Aleikum.